Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes.
Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show. It is Sunday. It is 9:30. Well, it is 9:28 actually. I'm a bit early. I thought I'd go a bit early to get a few more comments in if we can. Get your views and comments in. There's a lot to talk about. Preseason win yesterday and the leaked rumours of Chris Wilder. So I want to get your views and comments in and see what you think. Let's go.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Foxes Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Yes, good morning everyone. How are we all doing? Gray, morning mate. Matthew Bond, how we doing? Mark says REEEDY, nice, how we doing mate? Andy, how we doing? Appreciate you coming all back in. Gray says morning REEEDY, just what the doctor ordered, very promising, no Wilder. I don't think you could take too much from yesterday. I will say that I did enjoy the first half, mainly because of the way we played, but I don't think it really matters if we do get someone else in, because he will just change up the system or how we play and whatnot. So really, yesterday was a bit more just fitness in the legs, like most people will say. It was just about that. And hopefully, in the next couple of weeks, well, next week, because the next couple of weeks will be very much too late, in my opinion. Andy, how we doing again? Terence, morning, mate. I think you were at the game yesterday, weren't you? So appreciate. Hopefully that was all right. Dan Martin says hello. How are we all doing, guys? Appreciate you all coming in. Gray says give King the job. Won't cost us anything. See, I've kind of over the last few weeks, the last few days, I've kind of had a thought and thought maybe it's not the worst option. A lot of fans will back him. A lot of fans will do that just because he's an ex-Leicester player. We knows what he wants to do. So why not? Gray does say please not Wilder. Terence says for Marcel look good. Yeah, I do agree with you, Terence, mate. Marcel did look decent. I think that's what we saw of him before he left. When we went to the Premier League, but I would say that again, right now we can't really judge much. I'd say players had decent performances, I will say that, but again, let's just say this: our majority first team couldn't score a goal. The youngsters come on and they score goals, and is that anything to look into? Maybe the youngsters were the reason we won the game. I don't know. But we'll take it. We'll take the win. I think it's just a win in general will give us a bit more confidence, won't it? Gray also says no to Kingy. That's Top's easiest way out. It might be Top's easiest way out, but maybe it's the not the best solution, but maybe the workaround for now, because again, from what I've heard, we haven't got the money to buy out a manager. We haven't got money to buy players at the moment, from what I can heard of. So right now, it might be the only option we do have. And Matthew Bond says Wilder. Not very ambitious, is it? I don't know. He has proven that he can get teams up. It's just the Premier League side of things that he just doesn't seem to be able to do at all, is it? We will get Nick in now. Nick, how we doing, mate?
Hello, bud. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. Just trying to work out all these rumours. And did you watch the game yesterday?
No, I watched the second half because I was out delivering your junk mail.
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, I listened to the first half on Radio Leicester and then watched the second half on as soon as I got in. But I think what was quite telling for me, there was quite a few so-called first teamers missing. There was no
Yeah,
Bilal, there was no Mads, there was no El Kanous, there was no. I mean, Fatawu maybe is still getting back to fitness from his injury. But I thought the youngsters that come in looked really good and sounded
yeah.
like Evans. No Daka, another one that we were all expecting to lead the line this season. He went here, Samora.
I think majority of these sort of players that are from like the African nation side of things were just coming back from international stuff. From what I've heard of, again, I think we saw that McAteer was there at half time talking about him coming back. Only yesterday, so or the day before that. So, like I said, there's a lot of players coming back from international. So I won't be surprised if they will see more game time coming next Saturday. But you are right. A lot of the youngsters did impress. Um, three youngsters scored, or two youngsters, including a brace for one of them as well. Again, it's good. It's good signs, but do you take much from it because it was King in charge? And I did see as well that King did mention it on social media as well when it came to the interviews that he apparently is expecting somebody to come in. From what he was saying that when whoever comes in, we're just trying to prepare for whoever comes in a way. So do you
Yeah.
think someone will come in, or do you think it will be given to Andy King? I don't know.
I won't be against Kingy. For me, he's a legend. You know, he's League One title, Championship title, Premier League title. He's a Leicester legend. But again, it's very much Groundhog Day.
Mm,
It's like they've gone. It seems like we've gone either all out for Dyche or Roll, a bit like we did last season with Potter, and then we ended up
yeah.
with Cooper. And now this is what it feels like. Oh, we're going to get Wilder now.
Mm,
So, but I don't know. Regarding yesterday, though, mate, it's like you said, it's about minutes in the legs. So people were moaning, for example, about the performance. Day 6 of bloody
yeah.
pre-season, for God's sake. Day
Yeah.
6, and they got
Yeah.
a
You're right.
win. What you got to moan about?
I
Just
would. I
come
would.
on, for God's sake.
I would go out and say the first half again because of the way I like to see football being played in a way. It didn't feel like we played that bad at all in the first half. Yes, we didn't score, but the players out there again. Ricardo did invert. You had Ben Nelson in the team, who a
Mhm.
lot of people have been saying that he should be starting this season. Coley as well. I was shocked to see both of them start together, which again a lot of fans probably do want to see starting the first game of the season. Again, Marcel came back from his loan spell last season and he showed a bit of quality. Mavadidi again with his new haircut maybe changes his up a bit. But I don't know. It's weird because again, this wildest rumor now has come into the fold, and like you said, it feels like is it the last resort of like no, but we're waiting for the other two, didn't happen, and now we are having to pick from the bunch that are just there for free in a way. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
As much as I don't think he'd be the first choice out of the lot. I still think where has he said this? Paul said it might not be the first choice or popular choice, but Wilder could do the job. And I do agree that yes, other than Sheffield United not doing it this season and going up, I still think he's got the minerals to get a team up, even if it is through the playoffs.
Yes, but if it has now got to a stage where we're down to either giving it Kingy for the
Mm,
season or giving it Wilder, I would more lean towards Kingy,
mm,
especially for the youngsters, because even so, people like Hamza, for example, played with Kingy,
mm.
and do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? And some of them have looked up to him, and do you know what I mean? And let's be fair, who knows the club better than Kingy does?
yeah,
He knows the fan base, appreciates the fan base. I would, if it's a toss up between right now between Wilder and King, give it King. You may
yeah.
as well.
No, do you know what? Because obviously it was Phil that really first started talking about the King. I'm guessing a lot of people were talking about it before because obviously he was still at the club and whatnot. But
Hmm.
when he said about Andy King, maybe he's the one to do it. I was thinking, no chance. Like I would rather have somebody a bit more experienced, either being in a managerial spot or whatnot. But over the last few days, I have been thinking, do you know what? If it's between him and I don't know, Sean
Wilder.
Dyche or Wilder or even Danny Role, because again, Danny Role's not done too much managerial in his career. So I'd say that maybe it's worth giving him a chance. Again, from what we saw yesterday, it wasn't awful. Like we looked okay, and
It looked
he's
to
obviously
me, it looked like to me, mate, that he was trying to play, and you'll be happy with it,
Mm,
kind of Enzo style. But what I did get excited about a little bit was Coder just smashing it up.
yeah,
And do you know what I mean? Because obviously to beat the block, and it worked.
mm,
God knows how many times. If you can
yeah,
do like a weird hybrid of the football you prefer
mm.
and the football like myself and Phil and Jamie sort of prefers,
It's a mix of
I
both.
think
Yeah.
yeah, you could. There's no reason why you can't do a mixture of both.
And the thing with Kingy as well, because he's never been actually a manager, we don't know what his philosophy is. I'm guessing he doesn't even have a philosophy. He's using what he's learned from the likes of maybe Enzo and what the players kind of want as well,
Hmm.
and with what Rude has done, and maybe
He's also
for
probably taken away from some of the managers that he played for
yes,
in his career. You
again.
know, like Nigel Pearson, for example, or Claudio.
This is
You know,
maybe
there's
where, as much as he's not got managerial experience, he's obviously got a lot of experience as being a player under
mm,
managers who knows what they're doing. And
mm,
maybe, I don't know, maybe it is the right choice because again, from what I saw yesterday, I like the look of how he did it in the first
yeah.
half, and not as much maybe the second half. But again, there was a lot of youngsters, and we did score 3 goals in the second half. But I don't know. Everything now is looking like it could be King, other than this big Wilder rumor that happened last night or yesterday.
I think people will be behind Kingy if he got it. I really do.
I was very not opposed to it before, but now I'm
Mm,
kind of thinking because as well as looking at how long it's taken us to even look for a manager or taking a chance of who we're going to get. Realistically, if we don't get somebody in until next Saturday at least, and Kingy takes that next game, if he gets a positive result, if he gets a positive performance, I bet you the club are thinking, do you know what, just give him a chance. Because again, the more he progresses, the more he does well. They're going to be like, well, why would we look for somewhere else when we've got somebody who could probably have a chance in doing it anyway? And what a story it would be if we did get promoted next season with King. That would be very, very good for him. That'd be quality for him, wouldn't it?
oh God, yeah, 100%. Like I said, he won League One. He with the team with Championship, Premier League, and then put on his CV as well. He got a team promoted in the Championship. That's not a bad career. You know,
Mm,
starting off in your managerial side of things.
yeah,
Yeah, I think there's plenty you can be positive about.
yeah. Just we'll have to talk about this Wilder rumor because again, we have said that there's a chance that he could be coming in and he could do a good job. If
Mm.
it was Wilder, do you think that a lot of the fan base won't be happy with it, or do you think that I don't know? Because now it's between if it's him or King. I think there's a lot of fans that would just go and choose King. But
I mean, this Wilder thing, for me, it feels very Dean Smith.
mm,
It's very Dean Smith. It's like, oh right, okay, we've let Rude go over a week ago, which we should have done sooner. We all know we were in a mess. Honestly, the club. Let's be fair. We can all say it's a shambles because it is a shambles, pal. I mean, we didn't. We played in the bleeding training kit yesterday, for God's sake.
yeah, yeah, that's another thing we need to talk about as well. Yeah,
You know, more
um,
because Wheeling can't sort out the sponsorship. You know, I think that tells you everything you really need to know about the state of the club at the minute.
yeah. People have been saying, oh, did Dyche not want the job, or did Leicester not want Dyche? I think that rumor was just kind of fallen under the carpet again. Another one where we were kind of highly linked with. It's like Wilder again, like yesterday. He'll probably fall off because there's no actual concrete evidence of any manager being linked to us in a way of journalists saying, "Oh, they're in talks or whatnot." Um, I just checked out last night about the Wilder one, and I saw one link to someone saying they had sourced that Leicester are in contact with Wilder, but until like a relatively known journalist says something about it, I'm not going to believe it. But going on to the training kit and not playing in the actual shirt yesterday, do you think there's reason? Again, you said about this, we're not getting sponsors for it. Do you reckon that is the issue? Do you think we're just
Well, I've
again
been
late
told
to
the
every
photo shoot.
single thing?
I've been told the photo shoot for the kit has been done.
Mm,
They've already done the photo shoot, and
okay,
the plan was to put the sponsorship, Photoshop the new sponsorship onto the kit. But
that's a good idea, isn't it?
again, it just goes to show the incompetence in the board level, because you've got Susan Whelan. That falls under her. All of this, she's the one who does all the financial side of things that come into the club. She was the Wally that put Pac-Man looking dodgy gambling tie thing on the shirt.
Mm,
Let's be fair, that sponsorship rubbed a lot of people up the wrong way as well last season, because of obviously the gambling side of things, and
yeah,
obviously we all know the issues people get in with it. I can't understand why we can't just say Walkers, for example, and say, would you be interested in sponsoring the shirt? Okay. Even if it's like a lot less than what DC game was, for example, people will be more willing to buy the shirt because it's got Walkers on the front,
mm,
because it's a local. You'll probably make more money from shirt sales anyway.
yeah, yeah. People were calling the one from last season as like a Pac-Man
Well,
sponsor.
It is Pac-Man.
Yeah, I know. It's just that's what I'm saying. They don't like initiate it to even like gambling in a way. They just say,
Mm,
"Oh, what's that Pac-Man on your shirt?"
yeah.
But again, there's so many comments talking about like just different things. David here does say it. You said it, lads. It could take King's ledge status keep going on. Again, like we said about how the club is in such of a mess. A lot of managers who are on the outside, like the ones that are linked at the moment, might not want the job because of the situation we're in. Whereas Kingy's already in the job
Hmm.
in a way, and he's not gonna back down from a challenge because again he's a Leicester player, he's a Leicester legend, so he's
Yeah.
not gonna go, I don't want the job. He's gonna take it on even if it does end up him being in the shitter really. As
Hmm.
much as it might not be the greatest thing that people are saying, oh, you really want to put King's legacy into the bin, but there's only one way to try it, isn't it? There's only one way
Well,
to try it.
well, not only that, but let's be fair. We can also put in King's legacy in the bin. That's the risk. But he's the only one who's actually stepping up and actually doing it so far day to day. Nobody else is coming out and said, I want the job. Roll's still wallying about, well, Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
Dyche has gone quiet for once. Who's, we all want this manager sorted. If they're that bothered about it, they'd be in charge now, would they not?
Yeah, we've said that any of the three managers probably should have been in the role by now if there was, and that's why everything's going kind of walking to the fact that King could be taken. But this
Mm.
is one where it's like people are saying it's like you're looking around and all the people you could think of, and the answer's sitting right in front of you, in a way.
Well, there you go.
Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes,
It's happened many times in a way. Like you're
sometimes you
looking
don't have to
around.
complicate. Sometimes you don't have to
No.
complicate it. Just do it. I can't see the reasons why you wouldn't just go for it. If nobody's saying I'd be interested in the job and taking it, I think your
Mm.
answer's there right in front of you.
Yeah, and this show I didn't want it to go to being a give Kingy the job kind of show, but again, preseason has started. Good start to good start to it with a win. We move on to OH Leuven next Saturday. Is there anything that you think it needs to now progress into that game in a way? Because again, we can't really look too much into the last game yesterday or how players are performing and whatnot, but now we're talking about the King situation. Do you want to see maybe a philosophy a bit more come into the game and how he wants to maybe go for it if he does get the job? I don't know. Like, what do you want to see coming into this week or this Saturday coming up?
I think what we need to see for the Leuven game really is the players that weren't in either squad yesterday. the ones that are going to be sticking around.
Yeah.
I would say give them some minutes as well, because obviously they're going to need some minutes. And just again, if he keeps playing some of the youngsters, I mean, the lad who scored the brace yesterday, I can't for the life of his name
No, I can't
escapes
remember his
me.
name.
But some of the runs he was making,
Mm.
he looked really good.
Yeah.
And I thought Nelson did all right. I think even James Justin had a decent 45. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, granted it's pre-season, but
Mm.
he looked a little bit sharper than he did last pre-season.
Yeah. I will mention there's a few others that we've not obviously spoke about as well that I think a lot of people have mentioned as well, that the likes of Michael Golding, who didn't get 1 minute of the game last season, looks quite good, and how he runs as well seems a bit more like I would say more of like a Dewsbury Hall sort kind of like role, where he can be in that more of an 8/10 role. Again, you had Marcelo, who people have been talking about on the right, Skip and Winks in the midfield, which again, a lot of people were slating Skip last season, including me. Maybe he's one of the first starters next season in that defensive areas. I don't know.
We
And then
spent
Ricard,
25 million on him, so we've
yeah,
got to play him if he's still around, haven't we?
yeah, and
And
then
if he wants out, he's got to play his way, get out.
no, I get you. And then the one name that I don't think I've ever seen anyone talk about is Ricardo Pereira, which again, I know I mentioned earlier that he was playing in the inverted role yesterday in the first half, but he was linked to be moving out of Leicester when we first got relegated. Do you see many of these players that we've been speaking about, or that we saw yesterday, maybe making a move out? Because again, not one in or out at the moment, and the window is open again, and we've seen many other Championship teams making signings and releasing players.
The only one I can kind of see really going is probably Coda, because there's those links to Rangers.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't seen any. I mean, I think the Ricardo thing, for example, was just agent talk myself. But I thought Thomas. I think Thomas is our starting left back for next season. I think Christensen myself. I wasn't too impressed with Christensen yesterday. I think he goes. But other than that, really, I mean, ideally, I'd love Sumari to bugger off. Same with Daka, but obviously we're probably going to need Daka because we haven't got a striker. Christmas would come early if Fast would go, but again, you've got to find buyers that are willing to pay them what we're paying them. Because
Well,
let's be
he is.
fair, if she was on the other foot, who realistically is going to take a wage cut in this day and age?
No,
And
I
you can throw
agree.
that into anything, whether it's football or shelf stacking at Tesco. Obviously, markets are available, of course, but
Yeah.
nobody in their right mind would take a wage decrease. But
No,
we're just
not as,
stupid enough to be paying them.
no, I get you. Again, Jake Evans got 45 minutes. Again, nothing to really shout about because he didn't really do too much. But again, this is a reason why I kind of am looking at Kingy and saying maybe give him a chance, because he knows the players, he knows the youngsters now. He obviously was training with the youngsters before Rude left. So realistically, it's probably, out of all these topics we're talking about, it's probably the best chance we've got, isn't it? Really, and he's coming in. He's been the main man at the moment in pre-season. So
I mean, it's a fresh slate for a few players as well, though. You got people that weren't, managers that weren't fancying certain players, and that's what Mark Starr was saying on Radio Leicester. It's a chance now, this pre-season, is to either impress Kingy or the new manager, because obviously, if we do get a new manager, Kingy will give his report and say, "Well, this player has put it all in training. He's really good. His levels are great and stuff like that." It's a chance. It's a fresh start to go out and prove a point.
yeah, no, I agree. I'm just trying to think of any other players that we could see come out of the door, because right now, if anything, I think it's maybe good news that we're not hearing anything going out of the door. Like I say, I'd rather keep El Kanous if we could. I'd rather keep the likes of Mavididi, who had been linked in the past to like I said, Atalanta and stuff like that. But again, no rumours at the moment, which is probably good signs at the moment, because we don't want him to leave.
Yeah, but you've also got the no rumours of players coming in.
Yeah, no, I
over
get you.
really, and we've all been saying for years that this squad needs a reset or a refresh, and it's never happened. So it goes both sides, bud.
Yeah, Armchair Jockey does mention Ndidi going for 5 million. I don't know where he's been linked to, but with, like I say, with him not, I don't think he was in the lineups yesterday, was he?
No,
So
he wasn't.
was he coming back from international, or was he one that maybe is left out because of that? And another one we've not even spoke about is Hermanson. Has he been an international, or is he not? Because I saw him in training last week, so why was he left out? Is he not ready?
I think he's one of the ones that will go out. To be perfectly honest, I mean, there's been links with West Ham, Brentford, and what have you. And let's be fair, he's not looked the same since he came back from his injury against Newcastle. I'd rather keep Jacob and start him as number one myself.
No, I would agree. Yeah. Apparently, indeed, he's going to Everton, but maybe I don't know. It's an upgrade, isn't it? Going to the Premier League again. Nick, I appreciate you joining me. It is a bit shorter one, but we have basically talked about everything this show. And we will be back on tomorrow with Phil's show. Obviously, Philly's not going to be here. He is taking a bit of a break like Jamie. But he'll be back in 2 or 3 weeks' time. So Simon is taking over that show tomorrow. I'll be joining. If anybody else wants to join, please do. And we'll catch you all then. But
hopefully
Nick,
we'll have something to talk about.
Hopefully, we had a lot to talk about today, but
yeah,
again,
but now we had a match yesterday.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Now we spoke about it. We can't really talk about it again tomorrow, can we? So
not really. We need fresh ideas.
Yeah. And like I say, David says I'd release the new kit around the Fiorentina match, being more high profile. That's way too late, surely.
That's a week before the season starts.
Can't be doing that. And one thing I will mention is the way the training kit in the game yesterday actually looked pretty good. It actually did look pretty good. I think that could be our kit this season. It actually looked quite nice. I will say that. But
I don't know.
Hey-o. Nick, appreciate you joining me, and we'll catch you on the next show. See you in a bit, mate.
Yeah, catch you later, dude.
There you go, guys. Another show sorted, another show capped off. Madsy's not match fit. Maybe, maybe not. Jacob number 1 or gone. Maybe. I don't know. Neil says, I'm not sure another club would take a risk on Hermanson. Very shaky at the end of the season. I agree. I do agree. Pitches look better at the training ground. Yeah, of course they do. And then Neil says, missing shirt sales for the school holidays. Yes, I agree. Yep, I agree. Appreciate you all coming on, guys. And we'll catch you all on the next show again tomorrow, 7:30. Check Simon out with me as we talk about the week coming up. But I appreciate you coming in. See you in a bit, guys.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.